Hey, what's up, guys? So today's story is one I've been waiting to tell for a while now. So please hit that like button. I'm really excited to tell this story. And I'm going to jump right into it because honestly, it's just crazy. So this story takes place 1 year ago. And I was just hanging out in my room, watching some YouTube videos at the time. It was pretty late at night because I'm always up super late nights. And I get a text from one of my friends who lives down the street. And he goes, "Hey, man, do you want to hang out?" And I'm always awake super late nights and I have nothing to do. So I was like, "Sure, man, I'll hang out with you." And he's like, "All right, awesome. Come over right now." And I was like, "Okay, cool, man, on my way." And he lives right down the street. Like, I can walk there in probably like 15 minutes. It's not a big deal, right? So I got up, got ready quickly, grabbed my backpack, walked into my mom's room, told her I'd be back later. I'm going to a friend's. And then I walked out of the house and I locked the door. And I started walking. And I'd usually get these walks over with pretty fast because I didn't like walking at night and I'd always walk super quick. But every time I had to walk to my friend's house, I had to go under this one bridge. And this bridge is like the bridge that everyone goes to in my town to do graffiti and tagging and just put little pieces of art on it. And some of it's pretty cool, but the cops do not like it at all, and a lot of people get busted there for doing it. And I've actually been caught there before too with some friends who were doing graffiti, and I have stories about it, so go check those out if you want. But anyway, I quickly walked under the bridge, and as I walked by, I looked up and I saw these three guys doing graffiti on the bridge. And I didn't think anything of it. It was really late at night. That's usually when people go there to do it because they don't get caught as easy. But I just quickly walk away from them. I get out from the other side under the bridge, and I just keep walking. And all of a sudden, as I walk away from the bridge, I hear footsteps coming up behind me super fast. And I turn around, and I see the same three guys that were doing spray paint on the bridge run right by me. Just full speed, run right by me. And behind them is a security car, like a car with orange lights on the top, going after them. And they run into this bike path where cars can't go. And I'm the only one not running, so of course the guy pulls over right next to me, rolls his window down. He's like, "Hey, what are you guys doing?" And I was like, "Sir, I'm literally not doing anything. I'm just walking to my friend's house. They just ran right by me. I have no idea who those guys are. I have nothing to do with them." He's like, "Really? I'm security for this area and neighborhood, and I just got a call that there was people vandalizing the bridge. You and your little friends are the only ones out here." And I was like, "Sir, they aren't my friends. I wasn't vandalizing the bridge. And like, you can check my backpack. I don't have spray paint or anything." And it kind of blew my mind that they had like security. Like, the bridge was right next to a suburb, and I guess this guy would just monitor the whole area and make sure everything was good, including the bridge, because there was just so many people going there and spray painting. But anyway, he gets out of his car, tells me to take my backpack off, and I know I could have been like, "Nah, you can't search it," but I just told him he could because I really didn't care. Like, there was nothing to hide. I didn't have spray paint on me. And he opens my backpack, looks through it for a second, and then tells me to turn around and put my hands behind my back. And I was like, "No," because I'm not going to let some random security guard arrest me. Like, a cop, sure, but a security guard, like, that could be some fat dude that works at Subway part-time who wants to kidnap me and become Jared number 2. I'm good on that. And he's like, "Turn around." And he reaches for his belt with the pepper spray. And I was like, "Oh, no, I'm not going to lose my ability to breathe right now." So I just turn around and I let him handcuff me. And, like, I know this is so wrong, and I could have done something about it, but I did not feel like trying to run away and getting pepper sprayed or, like, losing my backpack in the process. So he sits me down on the curb, and then he pulls out of my backpack my old Sharpie marker and holds it in my face and goes, "So you weren't vandalizing, huh?" And I just kind of laughed at him because it was such a crazy accusation to make at me. And he's like, "Nothing's funny about this." And I was like, "That's an old Sharpie marker from high school. Like, I don't even think it works anymore." And he like takes the cap off and he smells it. This man sniffed my Sharpie. It made me so uncomfortable. And he just puts the cap back on. He's like, "Stand up." And he stands me up and he goes to put me in his car. And I back up. I'm like, "No. Like, you need to call like an actual cop over here if you want to do this." And I just sit back down on the curb. And he starts trying to pull me back up. And he's like, "We work for the police." And I was like, "No, you're the golf cart squad. Get away from me. Like, I'm not going to listen to you. Call the actual authorities because I did nothing wrong." And he keeps trying to stand me up. And I was like, "Dude, get away from me." And I kicked at him because he's like literally trying to put his hands on me. And it's just not cool. And at that point, I didn't care if I got pepper sprayed. Like, this guy is weird. He's creeping me out. I felt unsafe. And when I tried to kick my feet at him, he got super mad. And I thought he was going to pepper spray or something. But he didn't. He just took a step back and started screaming at me. He's like, "I'm going to call the police. You're vandalizing. You just tried to assault me." And I just yelled back at him. I was like, "Call my mom if you want someone to come down here and deal with me." He's like, "Okay, what's her number then?" And I give him her number. And I know people are going to comment and be like, "Really, Luna? You called your mom in? You called your mommy in?" My mom is a straight badass. Do not judge me, okay? So this dude calls my mom's phone in the middle of the night and wakes her up. And he goes, "Yes, hi ma'am, I work security for so-and-so in this area, and we have your son in handcuffs sitting on the curb. We suspect that he vandalized." And he was saying "we" and stuff, like it was a police team or something, when in reality it was just one fat Paul Blart in a shitty car with an orange siren on top. And he tells my mom where we are and to come get me and handle this. So she's like, "All right, I'll be right there." And I'm just sitting there waiting for my mom to come save me, just hoping she didn't believe this guy over the phone. And I see her car come up because it's right down the street. It only took her a couple minutes to get there. She drives up, pulls over to the side of the road, gets out of her car, and she walks up and just immediately is like, "So what's going on?" And he goes on to say that he thinks that I was vandalizing the bridge, and that's why he stopped me and put me in handcuffs. My mom's like, "Did you see my son doing anything to that bridge?" And he's like, "Well, no, not directly, but I saw him walking next to the people that were running away." And my mom just loses it. She's like, "So you're telling me you had a vehicle and people were running away from you and you stopped the kid that's walking, doing nothing wrong, and harass him?" And he's like, "Well, ma'am, the 3 gentlemen ran into a bike path where I couldn't get my vehicle into and follow them." And my mom just says, she's like, "Well, get out of the car and chase them and call authorities, the people that could actually fucking do something. Don't get out of your car and harass my son with no power whatsoever." He's like, "Ma'am, I'm security for this area. I work for the police." And she's like, "Oh, you do? What's your badge number?" And he's like, "Well, I'm not a officer. I don't have a badge number." And she's like, "Yeah, you're a fucking fraud. Take my son out of those handcuffs right now before I call the actual police and get your ass in handcuffs." And he looks at my mom, looks at me, and he just goes, "Okay." And he walks over, takes the handcuffs off, and completely like pussies out of the whole power act he had going on and bows down to my mom. He's like, "I'm sorry this happened. Like, I shouldn't have falsely accused your son like that. He really did have nothing incriminating on him, and he was probably telling the truth. I'm sorry." And she's like, "You're damn right." And she takes his phone number down, gets his license plate number. She also got like the name of the security corporation / neighborhood watch thing he worked for, and just basically got a bunch of his info to know more about him. And she just goes, "Next time, chase after the actual people doing something wrong, not my son who was just trying to go to a friend's house. He takes this route all the time to go to a friend's house. Don't bother him again." And he's like, "Nope, I won't. He seems like a good kid." And he's just like, "I'm sorry." And he like shook my hand, and he just gets into his car and he drives away with his little orange siren turned off because he is no longer powerful. And I'm just like lost for words. Like, my mom just came through and made this guy shit his pants. Like, straight up, he got like a live sex change while talking to my mom. Like, he straight just pussied out. And yeah, he drove away. I got my mom's car. I told her, "Thank you for saving me." And she's like, "Yeah, no problem. That's ridiculous. He even did what he did to you. Like, you're not a criminal." And I was like, "I'm being honest. Like, I really didn't have anything to do with those people." She's like, "I know." And I was like, "Thank you." And yeah, my mom just basically came in clutch. She then drove me to my friend's house. I got out. My friend was there waiting for me. I told him the whole story and he lost it. He was laughing so hard. He's like, "That security guard by the bridge got you?" And I was like, "Yeah, you know about him?" And he's like, "Yeah, he's like the neighborhood watch guy. They hired him 2 months ago to watch the neighborhood right next to the bridge. And he's always at the bridge because there's people there smoking and doing graffiti and stuff." And I was like, "Yeah, he tried to screw with me." At one point, I thought he was literally going to pepper spray me. And he's like, "What? I dare some fat Paul Blart looking motherfucker to try and pepper spray you or me while we're together. I will literally spray it up his ass and make his shit burn for the next 2 weeks." And I was like, "Okay, dude, chill out. There's no need to get that graphic with it." He's like, "Nah, for real though, that's ridiculous." And my mom was just laughing at his joke. And we just kind of hung out for a little bit. My mom ended up going back home to go back to sleep because she was tired. And I said sorry to her. Still so grateful that my mom has saved me from so many situations. Like, she's just such an awesome person. Shout out to you, Mom. But like, for real, just straight badass my mom is sometimes. Call me a nerd, call me a mama's boy, but for real, like, she is the coolest. But that's pretty much the end of the story. I just hung out at my friend's house and watched some YouTube videos. After that, though, after like a week or two, I went back to my friend's house and I took that same route pretty late at night, and I saw him again, and he just waved at me. Every time I'd go to my friend's house after this, he would just wave at me. And now I'm pretty sure he's just gone completely. I think he works security in some other area, because every time I drive by that bridge with my friends, I never see any security or anything like that. But yeah, guys, that's the end of the story. Moral of the story is, don't walk around at night alone. Not a good idea. Don't be afraid to be a mama's boy once in a while in any situation. And just be careful, guys. Look out for yourselves. Don't do anything stupid like me. But yeah, guys, by the time this video goes up, I'll be live on Twitch, twitch.tv/Luna. Link is in the description if you guys want to come hang out. I'll be live for a while. And yeah, streams are super fun. They're super lit. Come check those out. Also, guys, I know this is going to sound super weird to hear coming from me. I'm going to start daily vlogging on my second channel, or at least try to daily vlog. I know for a fact they'll be at least weekly. So go check out my second channel, top link in the description. Subscribe to that if you want to see more vlogs from me, because I'm going to be vlogging a lot. And I already have some pretty lit stuff recorded that I'll be posting there soon. And yeah, guys, that's basically it. Subscribe if you're new. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Would really appreciate it. Leave your stories in the comments down below. See you guys all tomorrow. Peace. Yeah. Controversy, I should worry, but I don't.